So I was asked by a subscriber/follower to speak on this particular issue. Big shout out to Tony Garcia. So I am sorry to say the game community hit a new low yesterday. Eagle-eyed gamers spotted a pretty suspicious image of a PS4 Pro showing the Pro's casing had literally melted. Melted from the outside of the unit. The outside. How is this possible, I hear you ask? Of course, it's all been completely fabricated and adds to the recent smear campaign to discredit the unit and hamper sales. A rather desperate Hapless gamer took a cigarette lighter, no less, to the back of a PS4 Pro or to the side of the unit in an elaborate sham in order to demonstrate Pro units have a serious overheating problem. Some people will do absolutely anything, and I mean literally anything, to champion or cheerlead their preferred or their more desired console of choice, but this is going way too far. Now look, here's the thing. You have to pay no attention to the anti-PS4 Pro rhetoric and narrative. You purchased the PS4 Pro, and the main thing is that you see the improvement, therefore you see the value in that purchase. Haters are gonna hate. It's been that way since the dawn of time. But ultimately, this does not bode well for the Xbox division nor Microsoft as a whole, especially with a vocal minority of overzealous fans giving the Xbox community a bad name, while inadvertently tarnishing every legitimate Xbox gamer with the same brush. What is up, gamers? I hope you all had a great weekend. I'm Fox and you're watching PlayStation News Now, your source of news rumour, video game discussion and home to the Gamer Couch podcasts this Sunday at 9 PM UK, 4 PM and 1 PM US. Keep up to date by following the channel via Twitter, Fox at PS News Now, as seen in the bottom right of your screen. In today's video, it is great news for Sony as PlayStation 4 sales are up 204% since the company's latest most powerful console, the PS4 Pro, hit retail last week. Alex Calving at MCV.com reports, PlayStation 4 console sales up 204% following the Pro launch. Sony's new powerful Pro console is in stores and has helped PlayStation 4 console sales triple in the UK. That's according to GfK hardware data seen by MCV for the week ending Saturday, November 12th, which says that overall PlayStation 4 sales rose 204% week on week. Of the total PS4 sales for this period, 65% of them were PlayStation 4 Pro. Sales of the original PlayStation 4 models, Launch and Slim, rose 8.5% week on week. Now the total sales were 44% higher than Xbox One's, with Sony's console claiming a 53% share of the hardware market. Microsoft's machine took a 37% slice of the UK. It was a good sales period for Microsoft also, of course, with the Xbox One seeing an 85% jump week over week. This being the Xbox One S and its capabilities. This will be in part due to the platform holder also cutting the price of the original Xbox One models. The PlayStation 4 Pro launched on November 10th. And as of the end of the last fiscal quarter, September 30th, Sony had shipped 47.4 million PlayStation 4s worldwide. And in other news, PlayStation Network hacked. Reports suggest 1,000 plus UK users had been affected. Interestingly, Sony has yet to make a formal statement, nor have Sony officially confirmed or denied anything. I attempted to research the hack issue but was unable to find anything substantial, other than the usual array of suspect YouTubers looking for views and clickbait sites the note seem to be reporting anything PlayStation Network hack related, suggesting to me that this is not a widespread issue. Look, financial institutions, the FBI, MI5 and a slew of corporations and companies are hacked every single day, but you don't hear about it because they're not in the entertainment business like Sony. No organization is 100% impenetrable. Moving on. Eurogamer.net asks, why are some PS4 Pro titles running slower than base hardware? In an article piece written by the very trustworthy Richard Ledbetter at Digital Foundry, and now I've cherry picked the main paragraphs of the article, which is pretty lengthy. The full article's link can be found in this video's description. And I quote, PlayStation 4 Pro testing continues at Digital Foundry, and while impressions remain positive for what this system is capable of, especially when compared with a 4K display, or rather paired, there's an aspect of platform performance affecting some games that we find concerning. Several titles are running at lower performance levels than the base PlayStation 4 versions, presumably owing to the higher resolution support. And we understand it, this constitutes a fail according to Sony's technical requirements for developers, so it's fair to say that we're not expecting to see this issue manifest in completed launch software. It's certainly not a universal issue that applies to all software. Many of the upgrades that we've seen so far have been tremendous, and the extent of the issue varies not just from title to title, but also from scene to scene in affected releases. However, the bottom line is this. For games like Skyrim, The Last of Us, and Mantis Burn Racing, gameplay will actually be smoother overall on base PlayStation 4 hardware. Deus Ex Mankind Divided is a little more complicated. We find that some scenes play at a noticeably low frame rate, while others hand in more consistent performance overall. This should not be happening. While this is an issue we feel passionately about, we should remember that this is still early days and we've seen enough software that either matches performance or improves it while handing in visually superior results. However, more in-depth analysis is starting to show that even some 1080p Pro optimized software can display issues. Rise of the Tomb Raider gets everything right in terms of offering enhanced full HD modes, and it looks beautiful at 4K. However, after a promising start in earlier levels, we're now finding that most challenging stages are causing issues. Base PlayStation 4 runs this at a locked 30 frames per second with perfect frame pacing. However, both 4K and enriched graphic modes are exhibiting really bad frame ordering, while the former is also running at a lower frame rate in some cases compared to the original PS4 title. Unlocked frame rate is faster but not consistent. Those after a locked, consistent 1080p 30 experience throughout Rise of the Tomb Raider are best off sticking to the standard PS4 right now. With all this in mind, it's worth stressing that plenty of titles on Pro are working as they should, offering enhancements and the same frame rate or better, but we'd still like the option to run at base mode spec with Pro's CPU and GPU boosts fully unlocked. At the very least, being able to run with fewer or indeed no performance drops from the target frame rate would be welcome. So for The Last of Us, a plain simple 1080-60 mode that guarantees performance in the way that no current version of the game can would be nice. Maybe downscaling from 1440p instead of 1800p could work, and would require little development work. Not every Pro patch upgrade needs to offer revelatory improvements, but there must be a fundamental guarantee that Pro will never hand in reduced performance compared to base hardware. The bottom line is that titles that do not do this serve to undermine the whole Pro concept. And that's where the bulk of this article ends. As I say, I have linked it in this video's description so you can read it in depth. Now, it should be noted that Digital Foundry presented their findings to Sony and received a fairly standard response. I quote, "We are aware of the issue and are currently investigating." End of quote. Let's try and use some common sense here. Clearly, this is not a hardware issue. This is a deadline issue. Developers were clearly not as prepared for Pro's launch day as they would have liked to be. The pressure of hitting launch day deadlines so close to a new console's release will evidently have a knock-on effect, and this is not unique to Sony hardware. Every single console launch has had games that had issues. It's the nature of the video game making business. It comes with the territory. Now, I'm confident that the likes of Naughty Dog, Supremos as they are, and other development studios will deploy a patch to resolve the issues. Although some could say that these 3 to 4 frame drops infrequently is hardly a burning issue for console or PC gamers. We've been used to stuff like this for well over a decade, actually ever since the introduction of hard drives and online capability was introduced to gaming. Don't stress it, Sony are indicating that they are looking into the issues and it will be resolved. And that brings us to the end of another video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share so we can reach other PlayStation gamers, and follow via Twitter, Fox at PS News Now, and remember, play games, not corporations. Thanks for watching, everybody.